Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. This is our August monthly forecast. I already need water. Hello, hello. Welcome to our August monthly forecast. We are about to enter a incredibly historic month in the history of humanity. Really, really incredible, and I'm so excited for all of us. Um, just reviewing this month and really feeling into the energy and looking forward into the numerology. It is really, it is going to be one for the history books. Now, whether or not it will actually make the history books is another story. But knowing that this new moon that we just came out of, really setting the tone for the month of August as we come into August, and this big heart opening. And this is really changing everything, and we're going to be seeing as we walk through the month of August and feeling and experiencing all of the newness that comes with this new moon that we just experienced last week and the real power of it. And I was talking about that on Saturday, of just how incredibly powerful it was and how historic this really is, this moment in time, and for us to recognize that, because it may not be recognized collectively, but it really is a pivotal moment. Hello, Angie. Welcome. Good to see you. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited to be presenting this August forecast today, because when I really leaned into this, it was like just awe-inspiring, and being able to kind of look at the trajectory for the rest of this year, and even going beyond into next year and beyond that. It's just it is awe-inspiring. It's really like we're having this moment where, at least for me, I can really see where we're going. Like, I knew mentally what was happening with the consciousness shift and all of that, but now it's like we're actually starting to really see the difference. We're seeing things come into physical form. We're starting to have the experiences in the physical world that we've been craving and longing and praying and hoping for the past 2-3 years, where we really, really desperately wanted this shift. So, oh no, that's too bad, Angie. Maybe try going out and coming back in, if that might help. Yeah, if any of you are having problems with the video, you could try that. I don't know, sometimes Facebook is not that reliable. My internet seems to be fine, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. However, let's jump back in, because this is really good news. And it's funny that actually this internet thing is happening right now, or this issue with the buffering and all of that, because there is so much change coming forth, and we're feeling this change energy coming in and this momentum of it. And there's a lot to do with technology this month that's going to come through. And so seeing that, even that disruption of this 5 energy coming in, because the August this year is the 5 energy month, and so it's the 8th month of the year with the 5 energy coming in this year. And so we have the 5 and the 8 being our most prevalent energies for the month, but we've also got something going on with the 3, 6, 9. And so this is where I really see there's, this amplification of creating something new that's going on. Oh, good. Good, yeah. Good. I'm glad you're still here, Angie. So every dream you're creating is being reflected to you in your current reality. Oh, that's really cool. I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, we're noticing that even you can have a thought, and all of a sudden it's happening, right? We're noticing too how much more telepathic we are, and just everything's zinging a lot faster. It's zing, 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 It's all happening really quickly, and you're going to see that amplified again in the month of August. Things are going to move very fast. Now, remember what we learned at the beginning of the year. This will help you navigate the speed of things as things continue to speed up, and we will feel this speed pretty much through the end of the year and into the beginning of next year, we're going to be feeling how fast things are moving. And so, we had practice earlier this year with getting comfortable with that and really learning to, when the world speeds up, we slow down. So we take methodical daily action, daily approaches. And Jennifer, hello. You've also had a couple really interesting real-time manifestations. Yeah. So we're seeing how powerful we are. We're really starting to land into that, and how powerful we really are, and how quickly we can actually create what we want. But also to be mindful that it can work just the opposite. You can quickly create things you don't want to. And so we're really learning how to play with that and keep our focus higher, keep our focus on the spiritual, the possibilities, the infinite potential, as opposed to getting caught up in the negative thinking. And that is going to be a big theme for the month of August. We've got the month starting with the Queen of Diamonds, so she's setting the tone for the month. And the Queen of Diamonds, she can get caught up in that negative thinking and pessimism when things aren't going her way. So she makes a plan. She's great at making plans. And when things get disrupted, sometimes that can throw her off and send her into pessimism, negative thinking. And with the 8 energy being present, also that giving up. Giving up 3 feet from gold. And so the message from her is really don't give up and don't let your thoughts stray into the negative. Keep your thoughts positive. We're really being asked to bring a balance into our mind, a peace and ease into our mind and into our thinking, keeping the thinking focused on what's beautiful and what's possible and what we can create and what we want to create, instead of falling into that negative thinking. And so that is going to be a big theme and a big challenge for the month. But I really do see us coming out the end of the month very successful with this. We are practicing, again, living in this more 5th dimensional frequency of love. And that heart opening that we had just last week, the massive historical heart opening that we had last week, is really helping us do this. So I feel like there will be people, though, who need our help that are maybe not aware of this yet, who don't understand what's happening yet, who haven't shifted into this part of the consciousness shift journey yet. We're all at different parts. So this is a great opportunity, and what we're being called into is to really embrace our purpose. The Queen of Diamonds is the philanthropist card. So, this is really about how can we help the world? How can we help the greater good through our personal, unique expression of our purpose? And it's really going to become prevalent and obvious to you this month of how many opportunities there are for you to be of service and to be able to give to the world. So philanthropy is not, it can be about giving money, and certainly if you have it to give, you're going to want to invest in causes and new ideas and inventions and innovations and things like that are arising this month in a plethora, in abundance, to really keep focused and put energy into what you want to create. So it's not all about what you're creating yourself, it's also about what you're giving to and investing in, whether it's financially, emotionally, with your thinking, with your skills and talents, what you're giving to, and where you're directing your focus and your energy. And are you clear about what you want? And if you're not, you'll want to get clear right away so that you can really maximize and leverage the energy for this month. Because with focus and clarity, you can create massive momentum. And we will be in momentum this month. That is what the 8 energy is all about. So you're going to be feeling that speed of that momentum. And if you're not clear and you're not focused, you're going to be creating all kinds of stuff that you're not desiring. But when you are clear and focused, you are going to be unstoppable. And there is so much opportunity this month for success, for financial success, for success in relationships and love, in building your business, in every area of your life. And tomorrow, you're really going to see that. And in this first week or two of August, you're really going to see the bigger picture. And that's present all month. But I think really this first half is really going to show us the bigger picture of all the aspects of our life and what we're really wanting to shift so that we can take it further, take it higher, take it into what's going to bring us the most satisfaction, peace, harmony, fulfillment, happiness, and what is going to do that for us is also what's best for the greatest good, and understanding that and really embracing that in our hearts, that we've been in this process all year of letting go of this codependent thinking and letting go of our attachments to wanting others to love us for who we think they want us to be, instead of just standing in the truth of who we are and being ourselves, being our unique, beautiful, quirky selves, and knowing and trusting that the world will embrace us as we do that, and we will be rewarded financially as we do that. We are invited this month to take any obsessive thinking around money and finances and material resources and let go of it in favor of focusing on creating what you want and sharing with the world, sharing what you've got. So the financial rewards will come naturally as a result of that, and trusting that is true, trusting that process, trusting the abundance will come even with your focus off of it. You don't need to chase the money for the money to come. You don't need to chase the resources. There's no lack. You're not going to run out. We are fully supported in this shift. We're fully supported in this change. The month ends with a 9 energy and an 8 of hearts. That's success, that's abundance, and the 9 is always taken care of. So trusting that, really trusting that you will always be taken care of. The Queen of Diamonds is also always taken care of. So, really allowing yourself to take the focus off of that and keep it on your purpose and what you want to create and invest in the world. With your energy, your energetic investment, whether you use material resources to assist with that energetic investment, or if it's coming through your intuition, your creative expression, your, what you're sharing, or both. But this is really, really key, the theme for the month. And of course the 5 energy, it brings with it massive change. So we will be seeing a lot of changes coming through this month, and trusting that the majority of these changes are going to be good. They're going to benefit humanity. They're going to benefit the expansion of our consciousness, the movement forward. They're going to help us move forward. But remembering that we can be, as human beings, and with that Queen of Diamond influence, a little resistant to change, and that 8 can bring in a little resistance to change as well. So being aware of that, and working with yourself daily, and maybe setting up a mantra for yourself that you start your morning with, that you're open to embracing and receiving the changes that want to come today, that you're open to being flexible and pivoting when you need to, in order to really move with the flow of the month, right? Because that 9 is also bringing in flow, that 9 at the end of the month. So the 5 and the 9, they really want us to learn to move with the changes and go with the flow. And so this is really what we're being asked to do, is to understand that we experience more freedom, more peace, more harmony, more happiness when we go with the flow and trust the process and trust where we're going. Of course, this is assuming you have your focus on creating what you want. That is always the key. Let me just get some water here. Let me know in the comments how this is landing for you guys so far. So I'm going to grab my notes here now and just see what else I wanted to bring forth about the overall energy. So the 5, we're going to be really, the 5 with that Queen of Diamonds and this 8 of Hearts and this massive heart opening, we're really shifting the way that what we look at in terms of what we value. And this is also shifting our focus off of physical, money and material things onto the more spiritual, the consciousness shift, compassion, love, the greater good. All of that is going to be big themes for this month again. Creativity is going to be a massive thing this month. We have so much available to us. So if you are an artist or an actor or performer, anything like that, or if you do anything with the creative arts, it's going to be a huge month for you. There's lots and lots of opportunities. But even if you don't, no matter what you create in the world, whatever way you bring that creativity through, you're going to feel very creative. You're going to feel an artistic flair. You're going to feel very intuitive. You're going to feel spontaneous. You're going to feel that passion to create and that drive to create, the drive towards expressing your purpose in a creative way is going to be coming through really strong, and it's fun. And this is the invitation with the 8. We can get very focused, and like the 8s are, the Olympic athletes and the Nobel Prize winners and all of that. Those are people who have that 8 energy really strong in their chart. And what do I mean by that? They have the ability to master something and to really tap into their creative genius no matter what it is they're bringing forth. So, it can be innovations and scientific advancements. It can be, being the top doctor or lawyer in their field, or it's about being the best of whatever it is that you're focused on being. So the 8 has that ability to laser focus onto one thing and really practice and perfect and really achieve success in one particular area. So that's going to be our greatest gift this month, and also our greatest weakness, because the downside of the 8 is that it can get caught up in focusing more on what it's not good at instead of what it's really good at. So the invitation is going to be to really look at, what am I really good at and what do I love to do? Because the 5 is asking us to love it, right? To have fun, to allow our purpose expression to be play and fun and, adventurous and creative, and just really, diving into the high sides of things, letting ourselves experience the freedom to experiment and really play around with this. And so sometimes the 8 can get caught up in being a little too serious. If you think about what it takes to actually be an Olympic gold medal winner, and you see when you watch them on the Olympics or whatever, you see how hard they are on themselves when they do their performance, and they make like the tiniest little error, and you can see it on their face how they beat themselves up. So this is going to be the challenge this month too, is letting go of some of that perfectionism and allowing yourself to have fun in the process of creating what you're creating. So the focus is good, the dedication and the devotion to perfecting your craft is good, but don't take it too far. This is where that critical mind and the critical thinking can really work to our detriment. And so again, it's just being aware of that and catching yourself in that when you do land into it, and choosing to shift it higher, choosing to shift it into a state of like, how can I make this fun? How can I take the seriousness out of this and make this play? How can I, really enjoy what I'm doing as I'm in the process of becoming masterful at whatever my craft is? And so that is a big invitation this month as well. The other thing that I see happening here is really looking at our restlessness we have with the 5 coming in. There's this restlessness coming in, and channeling that, making sure that we channel that into that focus and creativity, instead of getting caught up in the anxiety and the potential. There's potential for feeling anxious or argumentative, to feeling stuck, to giving up, to feeling isolated or abandoned with the 5 and the 8 coming in. So, or feeling like you're not supported or understood. That, all of that, just be aware that that could be present there, and notice when you might be falling into that, and choose to pull yourself out, choose to pull yourself into the higher side of these energies, opening your mind up to what's possible, really just being curious, like, playing, having fun. This is a month for really interacting with one another. There's going to be a lot of connection and interaction. But if you're in that lower side, you could tend to isolate or feel like you're different and you don't belong. So really important to do what you can to remember that you belong, that we all belong, and that you are like I've been saying for the past few weeks, just understanding how important and significant you are, and what a big difference you make in every little thing that you do, in every little thing that you bring forth, and seeing the value in that, seeing how important you are, and how worthy you are, and how very much you are needed in this time. I think that's really important to tap into. So let's just check the comments here. Yeah, hello Tammy, good to see you. Thanks for joining. And so feeling a lot of that could come up. 8 and 5 are both very emotional numbers, and then of course we have the major 2 influence as well. So emotional mastery is going to be really important this month. Prioritizing your emotions every morning, being very conscious of your emotional state and your mental state together, with that Queen of Diamonds and that 9 coming in, capping out both ends of the month, and the 6 too, also very mental number. So the mental emotional mastery, very, very important this month. Do what you can to use the tools that you have to help you navigate that and keep you in the higher side of these energies, so you can really leverage all of the opportunities available. I can't even tell you how many opportunities, like right out the gate when we start tomorrow, boom. And you may already be feeling it today with the energy today, because this energy today is really opening us up into the new month, which is really cool. We're always so supported in that. But we will feel that shift from the heart's energy that we're in today, that we opened up the new moon with last week, and we're going to be shifting into that diamond energy. So we're shifting from the heart to the very physical world again, and that's why I encourage you to really be mindful of not getting caught up in the physical too much, raising your values to value value your being in alignment with integrity, really valuing who you are, valuing love, valuing generosity and gratitude and peace, and creating all of that. And I think that's really important, because you're going to feel that shift into that very physical energy coming in later tonight, and definitely when you wake up tomorrow. So really being aware of that. It can be a little jarring when we have these hiccups from one month to the next, especially when we've experienced something so monumental as this big new moon heart opening that we did last week. It can feel a little bizarre. It might be buffered by that 6 energy, depending on how you tap into it, because the 6 is all about love and beauty and peace and harmony in its high side. So you may have a little bit of an easier transition with that, depending on how you choose to tap into that. So it is available to you, though, to make that transition a little easier. Overall, we're going to be transforming this month how we think and feel and measure abundance and success. And so that goes back again to, really, do we measure it through the physical world, or do we measure it through how we love and how we experience and relate to one another, right? And how we bring that forth into the world and what that brings into our world. So we're going to be really looking this month at what we're devoted to creating and nurturing, and what purposes, gifts, and talents we came here to share, and what wisdom we can draw on. And we, did this a few months ago, where we were really starting to be shown some of our ancient wisdom that we've brought in from past lives, or ancestral wisdom, depending on your belief system. But we've been really shown that, and now it's like we're going to be ready to really start either learning more about that, or if we have been, sharing more of that with the world now. So depending on where you are in your journey, will depend on how that manifests for you this month, but it will be important this month. There will be some emphasis on, all of that wisdom you've brought with you forth into this life from previous lives or from your ancestral heritage, and using that in order to give back to the world. And how you express that will be unique to you as you've come into this life. May be different from past lives, because you're coming in this life with a little bit different contract. So really, discovering and expanding on that and sharing that. Success this month is going to come through devotion to leading with love and serving the greater good, hands down. And that's where we're headed, going through the future. That's not going to change. It's going to only become more and more important. So, if you're still caught up in chasing the dollar, that is going to be very uncomfortable for you. And you will probably experience a lot of challenges in being resistant to this energy of leading with love and leading from the heart instead of from the mind, or instead of from a material focus. So just keeping that in mind, and getting some help if you need some help. The 8 sucks at asking for help. They're fiercely independent, and so really being aware of that and being open to the 7 too. We experienced this last month as well. The 7's not great at asking for help either. They're both very independent, and this can be really good in terms of letting go of needing other people to the point of codependence, but it can also be a detriment in not allowing the assistance to come in when you do need it. And there is an abundance of resources available to you. So are you open to them, and are you choosing to tap into them? And so if you do need some help with some of this stuff, really consider allowing yourself to be open to that. You are not here to do this alone. And this is one of the traps that can come with these energies, is thinking that you have to do it all alone, that you have to, somehow know it all already. And there's an intuitive knowing that comes with these energies that is really strong. And so you may feel like you know what you need to do, and you might feel like you have the strength and fortitude to do it. But if you do find yourself getting tripped up in the lower side of the energies, don't be afraid to ask for help. It doesn't mean that you're weak, and it doesn't mean that you're the 8 has some really big strengths and some really big weaknesses. So they have they're usually really strong in either love, money, or health, and they're usually really weak in one of those areas. So they've got this extreme thing going on. So if you find that for yourself this month, be willing to seek out some assistance with moving through the areas that you're weak on without feeling like a failure, and without feeling like you're never going to get it. You can't be good at everything. So embrace and celebrate what you are good at and focus on that. And then if you need some help with the other stuff, allow that in and seek that out. Choose that so that you can get the support where you need, and also keep your focus on what you want to create and what you're really good at already, and just embracing that and honing your skills with that, and keeping that devotion on what you are good at, and less focus on what you what you don't think you're good at. Really important this month. Let's see, what else do I want to say about this month before I go into specifics? So be mindful of impatience and high expectations for yourself and others, which comes with that perfectionism and control energies that can be present this month. Be conscious of your thinking in terms of self-abuse, and trying to meet the standards of other people or what you think that they want, which I kind of mentioned earlier. The opposite of this is trying to stand out by being really different from everyone else, but then feeling isolated and like you don't belong, and yet being conscious that you chose that. So you can choose to find a balance of that, find a medium, a peaceful area of that, a harmony in that, and that is available to you, but you have to choose it and be aware of what you're doing. It's also going to be important for us to give ourselves a break. So go out and have an adventure, make sure you're having fun. Definitely travel is a big theme this month, and so maybe it's a good time for a vacation. It's a good time to even take a day trip or something like that to give yourself a break, because we can get really hyper focused with this energy and not want to take a break and let up at all. And so this is really inviting you into, especially with that Queen of Diamonds, inviting you into experiencing the pleasure and enjoyment of life as well, right? The pleasure and enjoyment of the physical world. And so even though we're taking our focus off of the material in terms of what we're focused on creating, it doesn't mean that we don't get to enjoy the material world. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with having money or experiencing luxury or pampering. All of those things are really good, and the Queen of Diamonds shows us that. She shows us that we all deserve to have that, and we all can have it. It's all available to us. And will we let ourselves have that? Will we let ourselves enjoy those things without making them more important than anything else? That's where finding the balance is, right? Is being able to enjoy all of the experiences we get to create in the material world without getting attached to them, without putting them up on a pedestal and making them the end all be all. So really letting yourself have a break and pamper yourself or take care of yourself a little bit. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the new moon towards the end of the month. But that's going to be really important too, is to make sure that you're doing that. We will be really making some strong commitments this month and creating some legacy energy around this heart opening, really, and changing the way that we relate to one another in the world, and in terms of more compassion, more love, and again, less focus on that material. So it's really going to be a big shift in consciousness in terms of where we've been for the past several thousand years to what we're headed into. And we're really, like I said, we're going to be starting to see the signs and synchronicities, those physical manifestations of what we want is coming. So it's already starting to land, and we'll be seeing that. So the full moon is in that first full second week of May. Where did I go with May? August. The second week of August. So the full second week of August is that full moon. It's on Thursday again. So we've had several full moons on our Jupiter day of the week, which is really cool because that means it's bringing a lot of massive blessings and really changes in our belief systems. And so this is good news, and it makes a lot of sense supporting the shift in consciousness that we're in. So the full moon is going to be in 19 degrees of Aquarius, and it's going to be on a Two of Diamonds 7 energy day. Now, we've been playing around with the Two of Diamonds for several months here with these full moons being a key element, a key energy with these full moons, and really changing the way that we do business with one another, and how we relate to our bodies, how we relate to each other, finding win-win situations for how we interact and transact with each other, whether it is through business and finances or just through how we exchange exchange and approach our relationships in our physical world. You know, our relationships with body, with money, with people. It's, you know, having to do with releasing that codependence, and again, this full moon definitely bringing that element in for sure. But we have some really interesting things coming in with this full moon too, being in Aquarius. So yes, definitely letting go of the attachments with that Aquarius element and the 7, right? The attachments to people, things, all of that, letting go of those attachments. But because it's the 19 degrees, it's the 1 and the 9, which is a full cycle in numerology. 1 through 9 brings you from through the full divine timing cycle. So it's bringing in the new, the innovative, the unexpected, because 1 plus 9 also equals 10, and we've got Aquarius, which is Uranus influence. So there's going to be a completion of the old ways of doing business and transacting with each other, but there's also going to be huge technological advancements that are introduced in financial systems, healthcare, technology, travel, all kinds of stuff. Lots of changes and new stuff being introduced. So usually with full moons we think endings, but because of it being in Aquarius 19 degrees, it's a very special full moon, bringing a lot of newness and new beginnings as well. And especially with that 5 energy month, and also with the 8 influence too. There's all these factors coming in that are saying now's the time we're going to be starting to see the fruits of what we've been creating all year, or even for longer than that. There's a lot of stuff coming in, and there's a lot of goodness that can come from this. New advancements create more freedom and expansion for everyone. This is really overall good news. There could be some stuff that comes through that maybe we're not like, I don't know about that. But for the most part, this is going to be really good news. There's going to be unexpected endings and new beginnings. We could be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid of all the changes because we're really going to get like pummeled with all of the stuff coming in. It's going to be a lot. And it, you know, the 8 brings in that abundance. So there will be a lot. And that 10 degrees, that brings in the overflow. It will be a lot of changes, like a lot. I can't stress that enough. There's not a big enough word. So monumental amount of changes. And so it's important to trust and embrace them. Embrace the change, trust the change that's happening. Trust that, you know, we can't create a new world if we stay stuck in what was. We have to be willing to allow the new to come in. And we've been in the process of clearing all year to create this big vacuum. And now all these changes are pouring in to fill that vacuum. And so trusting that because you've been doing your work and you've been keeping your focus on what you want to create, even if you haven't been doing it perfectly, because none of us have, but trusting that it's been enough to bring in what you want. So there will be a lot of things coming in collectively, but also you're going to experience this on a personal level too. And so trusting that, embracing the changes, being willing to shift and pivot and flow with the changes that are coming in, and letting go of the control, letting go of the attachments to, especially to being loved and accepted, being willing to be yourself. letting go of any resistance that might rise up. All of that is really important to note about this, the full moon in particular. Lots of new stuff coming in. And so, you know, this is really about, again, inviting that mind into the heart, trusting your intuition, trusting your discernment to, you know, what of these new things is actually for me. Because maybe not all of it will be, but there will be a lot of options and opportunities available to you through all of these new changes and new physical things, physical stuff being introduced into the physical world. So there's going to be a lot of that coming in, and then, you know, the changes of the ways that we, you know, do business and transact with each other. So we could really be seeing changes in the financial systems even. I don't feel like any one system is going to come to a completion yet, but, you know, I think we're in the process with that 7 of how can we do this better? And so, you know, making the changes, and there might be some new ways to do things that come through because we've been looking at how can we do this better. So I don't feel like, you know, there's no need to panic, or like all of a sudden, you know, the dollar is going to go away or anything like that. I feel like this is, you know, expanding on what is and bringing in new and bringing in improvements, and I feel like there's a lot of that going on right now. So so that's kind of what I see happening with that full moon in Aquarius. Really, really powerful full moon. And then in that third week, fourth week, in the end of the fourth week of August, we have on the 27th the new moon in Virgo. And by the way, the full moon was on the 11th. The new moon is on the 27th. So we have that new moon in Virgo, and it's on in 4 degrees. It's on a Queen of Hearts 5 energy day. So this is really going to be centered around our physical health and our self-care. It will be making some big changes for our highest good. We're going to be changing the way we care for ourselves and others and the planet through doing things more naturally, through embracing new alternative healing and health options. We're going to be letting go of critical thinking. We're going to be letting go of that perfectionism. We're going to be choosing to be more loving and compassionate with ourselves and others in a way that we've never done before. Like a really expanded new moon energy here, because we've got the 5 energy month, and then the energy of the day is the 5 as well. So big sweeping changes here, and big love and compassion energies coming through, and nurturing energies. Just really beautiful shift again, like we felt at this last new moon. We're feeling the next step in expanding that, right? We're really moving into more love, more compassion, and truly bringing that to ourselves first, to be able to expand that into what we're bringing in the world. That mothering, nurturing energy, just like comforting, really just beautiful, and also highly intuitive, highly creative, highly psychic, you know, feeling all of that and trusting all of that. You know, there's going to be this big connection with nature. We're going to be committing to trusting ourselves and our intuition and heart more when it comes to taking care of ourselves and others. We'll be planting seeds for more self-love, more compassion, better health, and better health for the planet too, and all of the sentient beings on the planet. We're really going to be looking at what we put in and on our bodies and what that does to the environment, choosing what's best for us and the greater good. So there's going to be a big shift away from chemicals that we have in all of our cleaning products, our personal care products, our you know, our makeup, our hair dye. All of this kind of stuff is going to be, we're going to start really paying attention to this in a bigger way and making some big changes, and going with products that are you know, cruelty-free and chemical-free, or very mild chemicals so that we can, really take care of our own bodies and take care of the planet in a new way, in a much more nurturing, loving, compassionate way. There's going to be this shift in focus of, wanting to make things more natural. And this is I'm so excited for this shift. I'm really excited for this. We're going to change how the way we relate to our bodies and the physical world. And this caring energy, this loving, supportive, nurturing, mothering, compassionate, caring energy that will carry us into the month of September as a theme into the future. So again, another big pivotal new moon, and the 5 is all about the pivot, right? It's all about change and pivot. So this is really pivotal. So in this, as much as human beings as we can resist and be afraid of change and pivoting, this pivoting is really, really good. And I'm laughing because I'm just picturing the Friends episode with Ross and the sofa and the pivot, and how irritated and all that frustrated everyone was. But really, this is not that kind of pivot. This is a pivot into wow, look at what's possible here. Really pivoting into this expanded idea of what is possible. And it being really exciting what comes. Yes, hi Veronica, good to see you. Hi Sarah. Yeah, all of this feels so good, really, really resonates. Good, I'm glad. Your journey through authenticity, which is helping me to connect with your truest potential and birthing so many new opportunities. And you hit the nail on the head there, Sarah. Authenticity and integrity are big words this month. They're so important, and really being called into that alignment again with your truest self. So being yourself, being authentic, being in integrity with your truth is so key here to our success. And we've been learning about that all year and really walking through that step by step all year, and we're going to continue to do that even more this month. So yeah, absolutely. And that is what opens you up into more opportunities and new opportunities. So really, really key there. Really, really key energies. So I'll just go through really quick the week by week, and that'll be really brief, and then we'll wrap up, and we'll be talking again in our Sage Saturdays and throughout the week with the different themes as we walk through. And also, if you want more assistance with guiding yourself through the karmic nature of this month, and really leaning into that philanthropy of the Queen of Diamonds, and really making virtue and what you really truly value of main focus for you, I invite you to join us in the 42 Virtues of Mott series. It's an email series. You get an email each morning to give you a reflection for the day, which ties in the energy of each day and a virtue of the goddess, Egyptian goddess Mott, and really helps you to really lean into the higher energies of the month. So we'll be walking through that, continuing. We started on Friday, but if you're joining now, you'd still be able to really take advantage of the benefit of this series. So, and been getting really, really great feedback from it. There's actually someone who's decided to create a book from it, and create her own book so she can refer back to it, print them all out and bind them. I just love it. It's beautiful, and just the insights people are already having for themselves is incredible. So you can journal, meditate, contemplate. You get an affirmation for the day that you can kind of carry with you through the day. It just helps to get your energy focused on, again, what you want versus what you don't. And so we'll be continuing that journey throughout the month of August and into the beginning of September. So you're invited to join that, and there is an event link in the events tab in the Love Yourself to Wealth Facebook group, or if I remember, I will put the link in the comments here as well. If I don't, you can always give me a nudge, a reminder nudge, and say, hey, where do I find that link? And I will get that to you. So All right, so weekly themes, and then we'll be wrapping up. August 1st through 7th, we're becoming aware of any negative thinking, criticism, perfectionism, or worry, and choosing to shift our thinking by focusing on how we can share our unique gifts and talents to help create a better world. So we'll tap into our inner philanthropist and our natural generosity, taking our focus off the material concerns and focusing on source, trusting our intuition and our creative genius. This will bring us peace and ease, and make a clear plan and start actioning it right away. Opportunities are abundant, so just be open to them. You'll get the signs and synchronicities, you'll get the intuition, and leaning into bringing that mind into the heart, you're going to be really getting those intuitive nudges of what's next. Trust that inner knowing. August 8th through 14th, a change in what we value. So new ideas and wisdom arrive to create a new foundation for what we truly value and how we express that. Breaking old contracts and committing to new ones will be a big theme. The full moon on Thursday brings massive blessings and assistance in making these changes that week. And our foundation is shaken up, tested, and improved as we let go of the control and fixed mindsets and welcome in the awareness and insights that are on offer. That third week, August 15th through the 21st, changes in our thinking again, in our purpose expression as we connect. Big week for connection. Releasing codependence in favor of trusting we know enough to make a difference and we are worthy, and we embrace the opportunities and momentum to do so. That is what is available to us that week. And then the 22nd through the 28th will be releasing old ideas and fixed thinking as new awareness arises and transforms us to how we can bring more peace and ease and love into the world by bringing our minds into our hearts. Practicing with that always, right? This is practice this month. With the new moon, we embrace a change in how we mother and nurture ourselves and in the world. It is the dawn of a new era. And the final few days of August, the 29th through the 31st, we're carrying the energy of that new moon into the month of September and beyond, opening our hearts to kindness and the overflow of love and success through relating to others in this new way, celebrating this pivotal month for humanity, really pivotal month. And this is just exciting news. We're really starting to see that we're not in Kansas anymore. Things are really changing. Our lives are changing. The world is changing, and we are really headed into that place of the fifth dimensional love and compassion frequency, and creating a world that we love and based in love. And it is really possible. And looking and embracing all the infinite possibilities, getting curious about what's next in our journey, and enjoying the journey that we're on right now. Really, really beautiful month available to us. There will be a lot of people who need your help that aren't in this level of consciousness yet, that will be having challenges making this shift, feeling stuck, feeling anxious, feeling the negative sides of these numbers, the perfectionism, the self-criticism, the giving up energy. So be your best to support the world in this shift. You're here for this purpose, and you have gifts and talents, and you are worthy, you are ready, you do have what it takes. You're being called into that leadership, that mentorship, that coach, teacher, healer role this month that you play so well through expressing your unique gifts and talents. Use them, share them, because there are a lot of people who are still going to need your help. And you're being asked to rise up into that and show up to do that. And you can do this. You've got this. So I love you guys so much. Let me know in the comments, whether you're here on the live or on the replay, how this resonates with you and how you feel about this month coming up. I feel really optimistic. There's lots of Jupiter blessings available. We're really going to just be moving into this brand new life, and even though we aren't there yet, we're still in the process. We will start seeing the fruits of those labors, and that's really exciting. That's really fun when we start to see those drop in or see the signs and synchronicities. So be open to them, be aware, be looking for them, and they will arrive. Be curious about them. Be curious about what's coming next. I'm so excited for all of us, and I love you guys. I will see you again tomorrow for our weekly card drawings at 11 a.m. Pacific, and that would be 2 p.m. Eastern for our Magical Mondays. Love you. Bye-bye for now.